So, poorly written teen dramas like Switched at Birth or Pretty Little Liars or Glee are my lifeblood. I love them. They're such a guilty pleasure for me. They're terrible. Okay? I will never try to defend these shows. They are poorly written, over-dramatic, over-dramatized garbage with unrealistically cast characters in that most of the characters are like 30 and really like obviously like 30. And they're bad. They're just bad shows. They're usually poorly or mediocre acting, or terrible writing, just unrealistic scenarios, ridiculous looking sets. Everything about them is just bad, and I just love them. I love them. I binge watch them like it's nobody's business. I do normally like quality TV, I promise. My general fare is higher quality dramas or Star Trek or other sci-fi or fantasy genres. I also really like a lot of horror genre shows as well. I think they're having like a heyday on TV right now, to be honest, which is just great. That being said, I love my teen dramas. They're so bad, but I love them. In the same way that I love K-dramas, they're completely over the top, they're completely cheesy, they have this total style that diverges from reality, but they're just so entertaining. Although they're not as objectively bad as just US teen dramas are. So when I found out that they were making a teen drama based on the Archie comics, I was surprised and a little intrigued and then very disappointed. The first Archie comic came out in 1939. This series has been this franchise has been in existence for, since before World War II. It's been a fixture in people's childhoods for decades, right? The animated series were really fun. There have been, several different iterations and reincarnations of the comics. So, when I heard that they were making a show based on the Archie comics, I was really excited because I grew up watching Archie's Weird Mysteries, and it was probably as close to an animated Buffy the Vampire Slayer as I thought anything could get. And, the writing on that show, for an animated kids show was really fun. And I liked the episodal, scary thing from episode to episode. One episode's like evil spuds take over the earth. Or take over Riverdale, really. Another one that was really, really fun was the Giant Veronica episode. There are a lot of really good or really fun scenarios that they have in the animated series that would have been fun to see in kind of like a Buffy-like TV show, where it's just campy and fun and knows what it's about. Where you could tackle more serious subjects, but you would always have that, campy teen horror show framework to fall back on. And, shows like that have historically done pretty well. Buffy's still very popular and has a great cult following. So that's kind of what I was expecting when I realized it was supposed to be based on the Archie universe. And what we got was pointless. It's just a generic teen murder mystery drama with a pregnancy scandal and a bunch of gang activity and dramatic teen squabbling. And the dramatic teen squabbling was to be expected, but all the other stuff doesn't really make sense with the source material that they used. And I'm not being the source material, but I just don't understand why they bothered with the source material if they weren't going to use it at all. The characters are also just completely different. The only thing the Archie character in the show has in common with the Archie character in the animated series or the comics is red hair and a love triangle. Although it's more like a love pentagon because he keeps having other love interests thrown in there. Oh, and he bangs a teacher. So that's a thing that Archie Andrews, the innocent boy next door, would do. And I don't get it. And then Jughead, they just completely ruined Jughead. He's in the comics and in the older shows, he's this chill, funny kid who's wise beyond his years and really, really into burgers. That's his whole thing. He really likes food, and it's great. And canonically he's asexual, but I don't really care about that so much. It just annoys me that they Like, because even before they did, like, the modern thing where they explicitly said he was asexual, he was a pretty non-sexual character. Like, there were jokes about him running away from women in the earlier, in, like, the original, like, Archie's Funhouse cartoon, and, you know, it was a thing. He wasn't really into girls, he was into burgers. And so instead, they make him an emo, brooding, weird kid who calls himself a weird kid and, like, bangs cheerleaders because that's what the emo, brooding, weird kid does in their, like, archetype. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird show. And I also can't take baby Cole Sprouse seriously as a sex symbol because he's, like, supposed to be, like, this brooding, attractive emo kid, but every time he has, like, a makeout scene, all I see is, like, Cody from Zack and Cody, and I just can't take it. I'm just like, why? Why did you do this? I can't take this seriously. It's like, he's like a kid. Because, like, he still looks so much like himself. He's not one of those, like, child stars who, like, grows up and looks completely different. Like, it still looks so much like kid him in some scenes, and I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. I'm not about that. So far, it's just, I don't understand the point. You know, Betty, they just turn her into this, like, one-dimensional, like, borderline personality disorder type character with really fucked up parents, and Veronica also has really fucked up parents and is just terrible. And, like, they kept almost nothing from the show to the point where I just literally don't understand why they bothered. Like, why would you take an existing franchise that has existed since 1939 and bother adapting it if you're not going to use it? Like, either just make your generic teen drama and don't base it on anything. People will still watch it, you know? Like, I'll still watch your crappy teen drama. It does not have to be based on one of my childhood franchises. I promise you. I'll watch it. I'll watch any crap you throw at me. Trust me. You know, I just don't see why. Or if you were going to use the Archie comics, like, that's great, I guess. I mean, I'm kind of tired of reboots in general, but if you're going to do that, you know, use them. Use the comics. Do something interesting with them. I don't know. I found it really, really disappointing. Like, I'll probably still finish binge watching the show because it's just so bad it's good. In some ways, it is hilarious. It's just also kind of frustrating because I see so many missed opportunities, you know, and I think it could have been a really fun kind of, like, modern day Buffy, and instead it's just garbage. It's really bad. If you don't just enjoy crappy teen dramas for what they are, then I definitely don't recommend it. If you're, like, a diehard Archie fan, if those even exist, I would say don't bother. It's not good. It'll just frustrate you. So that's everything I have on this. This has been another pointless pop culture rant, and Beta Zane, bitches.